If Gen Z can bring back low-rise jeans and the middle parts, then I can bring back the Duff bump, okay? We're now doing the Hillary Duff bump. It's happening. So everybody come prepared with your 2 bobby pins and your hairspray. Hi, my beautiful pumpkins, and welcome back to the channel, to the pumpkin patch. I'm so happy that you're here. Today's video is actually a continuation from my original video that I shot almost 2 years ago, which was how to read tarot like effectively or something like that. I will card it up here for you. That video, I explained how I learned how to read tarot, but from that, so many of you wonderful, lovely pumpkins in the community have come and reached out to me either on Instagram or sometimes in the comments as well, because I do read all of your comments. Even if I don't respond to all of them, I do try my best to read all of them. But so many of you have reached out to me and said, how are you so confident in your divination? How are you so confident in your magic? How are you so confident in reading publicly the way that you do on YouTube? And this video is going to address those concerns, but I really feel like even if you're not somebody who dabbles in tarot card reading, some of the things that I have to say today are just good things to have for life, like things to do for other areas of your life, especially the first one that we'll cover is something that I believe is so important for everyone to work on within themselves. But I want to talk to you today about 4 things that I believe make somebody a gifted tarot card reader. Either you work on these things, because it is my personal opinion that talent doesn't even really exist. The reason that people have talents is because most often they have worked to hone them. Now, there are people that just naturally might be more excellent at something right away, but most people, something becomes like you're good at something because you have worked on being good at something. So that is no different with tarot card reading. Yes, some people can pick it up intuitively like that, but if you watch my original video, you'll understand that that didn't happen for me. I worked really hard to understand tarot and to actually get very clear on it. So that's the video I want to bring to you today. I want to make this so easy that anybody feels like they can pick up a tarot deck and they could start reading really easily and effortlessly. These are the 4 tips I have for you on how to become a gifted tarot card reader, or how to strengthen your tarot card reading abilities if it's something you're already like into. The first thing I want to talk about is one that I feel like is good for everyone, no matter what you're doing in life, and that is to cultivate something called self-trust. And did you really think you would come to my channel and I wouldn't talk to you about psychology? That's like my thing. That's my niche, is spirituality and psychology, as I am a student of psychology at this time. So having self-trust, I feel like, is single-handedly one of the most important things you can develop in your life. And I say that because I really believe, especially in Western society, that we have made this society that is so unaware of how fantastic every single person is. We have made people so unaware of the power that they actually have to make huge transformations and huge strides in their lives, that a lot of people are walking around fully unconscious of how fucking fantastic they are, for lack of better terms here. And I feel like when it comes to tarot card reading, that's the number one thing I'm hearing when people come to me and ask me like, oh, how are you so confident? We're lacking self-trust. We don't trust ourselves to have the skills, the wherewithal, the tools, the knowledge, or be able to gain access in some way, or do something that is maybe a little out of our comfort zone. And this is so normal. Everybody goes through this. When you are going to go out there and do something new that you've never tried before, or it seems kind of scary, of course you're going to be a little bit scared. And of course you're going to probably doubt yourself. I would say that there probably isn't a single person on this planet that doesn't doubt themselves in some area of their life. Now, how do we cultivate self-trust? I personally believe if this is new for you, if you've never really dove into what is considered shadow work, really working on yourself, becoming conscious of yourself, your own thoughts, Personally, I think the person that has said it the best in a book thus far is Dr. Nicole LePera. She just put out a book called How to Do the Work. I'm almost done with it. I have like a chapter left, so I feel like I can confidently say that this book is phenomenal. It literally encompasses healing from a perspective of your mind, body, and soul. Not just going to a physical ailment doctor, not just going to a spiritual person, and not just going to transform your own health, like for your body, but literally going out there and doing all three. And that is how we do like top down, bottom up healing. And I feel like when we're cultivating self-trust, that's a big part of healing if it's something we're not familiar with. Now, some of us, maybe this doesn't even apply to you. You feel like you trust a lot of the things you do. I'm here to tell you, I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people, and I can guarantee you that there are people watching this video that don't trust themselves to make many decisions for their life. And I've been there. I'm still there in some regard. But when it comes to tarot card reading and divination, it took practice for me to start to trust myself and my answers. I started really early on, and again, you can hear about this in the original video, but I'll give you a small recap here just to kind of cover. I started early on reading for myself. I've been reading tarot cards since I was about 15. When I went through my dark night of the soul in 2017 and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life anymore, I started reading privately for clients, just online. I had a Discord that doesn't exist anymore, that I would take clients from my old community that were really into spirituality and tarot cards and things like that, and I would give them readings. And I got such great feedback from that of course that instilled in me more self-belief that, okay, maybe I actually have a knack for this. And I slowly integrated tarot card readings into this channel. If you look back on my original videos, I wasn't doing a whole lot of tarot card reading publicly. It wasn't until last year, I want to say in like June or July, I had a video just pop off that I had manifested. I specifically manifested with one of my spell jars. I have another video for that. I manifested having what I would consider a viral video, and one of my tarot card videos went viral. At least for my channel, I considered it to be viral. And from there, I've just had an audience that likes that kind of content, and it definitely helped. But the thing with having self-trust, and this is the thing I want you to remember, to have actual self-trust, it can't come from outside of you. It has to come from in here. And this is something that I'm still working on myself. I'm not an expert in self-trust, but I do believe reading Dr. Nicole LePera's book, How to Do the Work, really gives you a dedicated outline of really how to do shadow work with yourself and how to start trusting your decisions, start reparenting yourself and changing your life so that it is more fully in alignment with who you want to be and how you want to act in the world. So check out that book. This is not a sponsorship, but I will link it down below for you if you want to get your hands on a copy of it. It keeps selling out because it hit #1, like New York Times bestseller in, I think, multiple countries. So it keeps selling out, but if you can get your hands on it, it was such a fantastic read. Like I said, I'm literally nearly done with it. And it really encompasses a lot of the beliefs that I practice in my own life, bridging spirituality and psychology. So definitely give that a read, especially if you feel like you're somebody that really doesn't trust yourself, especially to create things that you really desire to create. The second thing I feel like you'll know if you're going to be great at tarot card reading or it's something to start cultivating if you haven't, is to start cultivating the ability to be a great storyteller. And I touched on this a little bit in my original video as well, but not super in depth. And what I mean by that isn't that tarot card readers are out here like selling you a bullshit story. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you're already somebody who like writes fiction or really likes to read or you're just a gifted storyteller, maybe you're really animated in the way that you speak. This to me makes it easier to get into divination, especially tarot card divination, because I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, is you might know all the tarot cards frontwards and backwards because you've studied, but when 3 of them come out in a weird way, you're not able to connect those dots because you don't already have an inner storytelling that you're working with. Because that's all the tarot deck is. It just tells a story. Every suit has a different story, and then the major arcana is just the archetypes of that deck, at least if we're talking about Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, which that's usually what I am always referring to because that's what I learned with. But they tell a story. So if you're already naturally inclined to be a gifted storyteller, this is going to be like no nonsense easy for you. Like, think about doing like ad libs or something, or like just playing a game with someone where they start telling a story and every like few sentences you have to jump in and give a few sentences. If anybody ever played that game, it's like a party game that I've played before, where everybody comes up with like a sentence for a story and you just kind of like go around the room. That's kind of what tarot card reading is like, except you're using your intuition, obviously, and you're applying the knowledge that you have of those cards as well. But that's really what I want to hit on, is if you're already good at telling stories in a certain way, or you've already like, to me, I used to write fiction when I was a kid. So I spent a lot of time writing fiction or fan fiction because I was a big nerd. I'm still a big nerd. But writing fan fiction, I feel like that actually helped me. That actually like helped me to be able to connect dots faster because I know how story progression works, and it's easy for me to see those things. So I feel like if you're already somebody that can do that, like, you're already ahead of the game, or you can start cultivating it now and just creating stories. The next thing I feel like is that you have to realize that with undertaking learning how to read tarot, if you want to become really proficient at it, you have to understand that you are never going to know it all, ever. I don't believe there is a single tarot card reader on the face of this earth that knows every single way that something could be divined. And the reason why is because everybody does it differently. I read tarot cards differently than probably your other favorite readers do it. And they do it differently than I do it. We can't, because we don't have the ability yet to give us all this information telepathically. We're not all telepathically linked, feeding you. I mean, maybe some of us are, I don't know. I'm not there yet. But we're not all telepathically linked, just downloading all of this information from other readers and going back and forth, right? So bearing that in mind, there's so many different ways for tarot cards to be read. And just know that when you undertake something like this, I think this can be frustrating to some people, but you're never going to know everything. And the moment you think that you do, I feel like, honestly, is the moment that like you should reevaluate, because there's always something new to be learned. There's always new interpretations. There is always, and I say new interpretations in the sense that there are always new decks coming out too, and different decks read totally differently than other ones. Some of them have more sassy artistry, so they are a sassier deck, or the energy about them is just more sassy. Some of them are more frilly and playful and flirty. Some of them are more geared towards romance. Some of them are more geared towards friendship. There are so many ways to divine decks that I think it's really important to note that you're never really going to know it all. And that's part of the fun of it, is you're always going to have something new to learn from it. So when you adopt the student's mind, if you will, that I feel like is really also going to help you hone in on the success of you being able to divine. And the last tip I have for you is that you really have to get uncomfortable. And I know a lot of people are not going to want to hear this. And this is why it is so important for you to take number 1, self-trust, so seriously. But you're going to have to become uncomfortable somewhere, because the people that come to me and say, oh my gosh, how are you doing that so confidently, et cetera, you have to note that I wasn't always confident. That didn't come overnight. I had to make myself uncomfortable to get there. Like with any skill that you're trying to hone, you have to be willing to do the thing that makes you a little uncomfortable to get comfortable with it. Even if it's being on camera. This was something I didn't used to be able to do. Are you kidding? We're on here talking about the Hillary Duff bump. And, I've totally disheveled my living room to make this room look nicer on camera, but I didn't used to have all those skills. I didn't used to understand image composition and why good audio is so important. I had to make myself really uncomfortable, fall down a lot, mess up a lot in order to get to that point. And it's the same with tarot card reading. So I would encourage those of you that feel like you're not confident enough to start reading for others, make your number one goal to read for one person. I'm going to read for obviously go to somebody that is like interested in tarot cards, because that's probably one of the worst things you can do is try to read for someone that already like doesn't believe or thinks they're evil or something. Like, you're not going to prove them wrong if they already have their mind made up. So definitely go to someone that's interested or is very accepting of your practice. Be safe and be careful. But and I don't say be careful because tarot cards are evil. I say be careful because I understand that some people have to hide those things from their family because it's not safe for them to openly practice. So that's what I mean when I say be safe about it. But ultimately, go to someone that you really trust, that wants to know more, that wants to hear this thing, and tell them to ask you a question that pertains to their life that maybe you could pick up on in reading that they didn't give you the information. That's a good way to test your intuition as well. But then ask for feedback. Tell them, look, I will read this for you for free, but you need to give me the constructive criticism. I need to know where I can improve, or if you thought this was really good. And know that if they give you something, like they tell you like, no, it didn't really apply, or I don't agree with it, like, that doesn't mean that you're not capable or you're not allowed. Anybody can read tarot cards, anybody. It just is the desire to do it. This is why following what lights you up is so important in life, no matter what you're doing. Because if you have a passion to learn, to understand, to want to do it, you're already halfway there. But make it your goal to read for one person. And then next time make it 2 people. And next time make it 3 people, until you're reading for maybe in a month you make a goal that you want to read for 10 people. And then when you feel ready, try to get a first client, post to a new Instagram that you put together that you are doing readings, and maybe don't charge anything extravagant right away unless you already have a following that can really help with that. But, maybe just $5 to $10 for the reading, or whatever you feel is good at your level of reading right now. Because I do think that with more skill, more knowledge, and building on that, obviously your prices are totally allowed to inflate. But I feel like when you're first starting out, price yourself at what feels comfortable. And I feel like I'm just giving you extra advice at this point, but price yourself where it feels comfortable, because what's going to happen is if you don't feel like you're ready to read for others and charge them, if you're ever wanting to do that, you're going to feel like a total imposter. If you charge somebody $50 for a reading and you feel like you should have charged them $5, you're going to feel like an imposter, and it's going to dampen your ability to grow without feeling internal shame. So, grow that, with however you see fit. Now, if you come out there heck no, we're charging $100 a reading and I've got this in the bag, and you've really up-leveled yourself in that way, then that's where you're supposed to be. There's no one size fits all with that. The reason I'm bringing it up is to really try to help you avoid feeling like an imposter with something that you might be really good at, because the world needs that special gift that you have. So that's all I have to say. I feel like I'm rambling now. I could probably keep going on this for another half hour easily, but I just wanted to give just a really basic, simple guide on what I feel like makes really good readers. And these are things that if you don't feel like you have them yet, it's a good time to start working on them. Know that these 4 things. So cultivating self-trust, knowing that there's always going to be room to learn more, becoming a student of tarot card reading, knowing that you are a natural storyteller or becoming a storyteller, and knowing that you have to get a little uncomfortable before it's going to get comfortable. I believe that if you are working on those 4 pillars, if you want to call them that, you totally have it in the bag. And read for people. People need your gift. People need what lights you up internally. That's why it's there. So, my beautiful pumpkins, I hope this video helps you out. I hope that you will go forth and strengthen your divination abilities, and that this really gives you the courage to do it, because I have found nothing but good things in my own tarot card reading journey. Tarot first helped me during the hardest moments of my life, and now I get to help thousands of other people in their own paths as I kind of continue to navigate my path, which is awesome. So here's to you, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And if you want to know more, if you have more questions about divination, or if you have like a specific problem, tell me about it in the comments down below, and I will do my best to either answer you, or maybe we'll make another video. I don't know. If there's enough information, or if there's enough questions coming in or rolling in, I would love to keep helping. That's something that I'm a sun and moon in the 6th house girl. All she wants to do is help, okay? And a 10th house in Virgo. All this girl wants to do is help. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm at Kloee Taylor, and my podcast, Authentic and Unapologetic, which next week, season 2 is going to be airing. I'm really excited, and I will see you there. It's going to be an Aries video, all about Aries season, the Aries new moon, manifesting with the Aries new moon. So definitely come and check out the podcast. And yeah, all fun links down below. And I will speak to you all next week. I love you so much, my pumpkins. Please do not forget, when you stand up in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. Bye, pumpkins. It is so far away from where I'm sitting, and I literally have a mouse extended on a cable. I hope I don't fall off this chair. That would be a travesty. Okay. Girl, I look like an angel today. Hello? Like, I never wear white, and maybe we should make it a new thing. Okay. This isn't a podcast. Where do I put this? Here? I found it. It's the Great Valley. Okay. I hope there's no lipstick on my teeth, because that would not be it. Hi, friends, and nope. Kloee, you don't even have the introduction correct. Let's one more time from the top. Make it drop. That's a. Ooh, she punched the microphone. It's fine.